What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode here at the Game Nights. You have Titan here, bringing you guys another hot deck profile for today's video. And for today's video, I'm coming at you guys with, say it with me, D.I.E, Dogmatika Invoked Eldlich. Guys, this is a top tier strategy, so I cannot wait to show you guys my list for this deck. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this one, because I'm going to enjoy breaking it down for you. Anyways, I would like to mention a couple of things before we get off into today's video. I did mention in a prior video that there was something that I was going to unveil, and I'm unveiling it today, guys. I am showing you guys our new logo. We got a brand new logo. I will have my editor blow it up here on the screen for us so that you can have a nice, good look at it. And I would like to give a special thanks from all of us here at the Game Nights to our artist that digitalized our logo, and that is Heather. So Heather, thank you so much for doing that for us. And guys, if you really liked how she did on the logo, because I think she did an amazing job, then go ahead and check out one of the links that's in the description. It will bring you to one of her stores. She does all kinds of different designs, so if you're looking for your own custom design for like your logo, you can go ahead and check that out. So yeah, guys, I really hope that you guys are really into this video, because I'm just getting right pumped up. I'll remind you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Make sure that you smash that notification bell so that you're always notified, and also check us out on Facebook and follow us on Facebook so that you're always notified for when we upload new Game Nights content. So yeah, guys, without any further ado, let's get right on into this deck profile. Hey guys, just putting in a quick little recording here right before I get into the deck profile. I had failed to mention one little detail when I was talking about the Dogmatika cards. I just failed to mention that Dogmatika Ecclesia the Virtuous, Dogmatika Maximus, and Nadir's Servant, after using their effects, it does lock you out of the extra deck until the end of the turn, and Dogmatika Punishment will lock you out of the extra deck until the end of your next turn. So just some things to keep in mind. Like I said, I had just failed to mention it before in the original run through of the deck, so I figured I'd just mention it now. Alright guys, so I'll mention real quick before I get started into the deck profile, I will also show you guys a quick little combo tutorial of one of the main combos that you can do in this deck. Definitely stay tuned for that after I go through the entire deck. So, to start off, I play 2 copies of Eldlich the Golden Lord. Pretty straightforward. I don't think I need to explain too much what Eldlich does. It's literally one of the best utility cards we've seen come out in the year. Just an absolutely great card. Just being able to revive itself from the graveyard, allowing you to put your Eldlich spells and traps into the graveyard, and then, you know, banish them for more advantage. Just being able to like send things like your spells and traps from your hand to be able to target himself and to target something on the field and remove it. Like it's just really good. It's very versatile. In this build, I think 2 is more than fine. You don't need to max out on it. Then I play 3 copies of Dogmatika Ecclesia. This card, another super fantastic card. So this is obviously the Dogmatika engine of the deck. This card can special itself when there is a monster that was special from the extra deck on the field. So if you have made your first turn Mechaba, then you can go ahead and special summon your Ecclesia. And when Ecclesia is normal or special, she can go ahead and grab you any Dogmatika card from your deck. So I max her out at 3. You could play 2 if you really want, just to save some space, or if you want to play something else in the deck. But I max out at 3 because I really like seeing it to grab my Dogmatika Punishments, and also this card as well, the Dogmatika Fleur-de-Lis. So you don't need to play any more than 2 Fleur-de-Lis. Fleur-de-Lis is just really, really great. Another great form of interruption, just allowing you to special summon it when there's a monster that's summoned from the extra deck on the field, and then you can just go ahead and negate the effects of one monster. So it just happens, which is really nice. It doesn't target. So that's why Fleur-de-Lis is really, really good. And then also it does have a attack manipulation. It does allow you to bump up your Dogmatika monsters by 500. So it does go up to 3k. So yeah, I wouldn't play any more than 2. Then I play the Dogmatika Maximus. So Maximus is something that, some people have cut entirely from the deck. Some people have played around with it at like 1 or 2. I just play the 1. He is crucial to the combo that you do in this deck, which you will see later on. So what Maximus does is that if you happen to have like a monster that was special from the extra deck in your graveyard, you can go ahead and just banish it
to special it. So very simple, especially within the combo. You have like an All Mirage in the graveyard. You can easily just banish to special it. And then after that, you can go ahead and activate its effect to dump 2 cards from your extra deck to the graveyard, and your opponent must do the same. So they also have to dump 2 cards from their extra deck. You don't really care so much about them doing that. It's more so what you're sending to the graveyard. And again, I will show you all of that in the combo. Then going off into the invoked stuff, I play 3 copies of Alistair the Invoker. So this card, of course, is what allows you to make your Mechaba. So I would definitely max out on this. By the way, guys, I absolutely love this like alternative artwork of the card. Absolutely love it. But yeah, definitely max out 3 on the Alistair. So if you guys don't know what Alistair does, when he is normal summoned, you can go ahead and add the invocation from your deck to your hand. He also has a quick effect that when he's in your hand, he can do some attack manipulation on your fusion monsters, like so your Mechaba. So if you need to beef him up, he can also do that. Alright, now going off into some hand traps that I play to complement the other monsters. I play 3 copies of Psyframe Gear Gamma. So this card, if you saw my list video just recently, you saw that this was like one of the most impactful cards that we had seen put into the side decks, and it's become so impactful that now we're seeing it main decked. So I am main decking the 3 Gamma and of course the 1 Driver. There is a lot of things in this deck that is like not a monster card, so you have things like your Cursed Eldland, you have your Nadir Servant. I believe there is one other card that also allows you to add something from your deck to your hand that is not a monster card. So if you go ahead and activate those cards first thing and there's no monsters on the field and they ash you, you can just go ahead and Gamma the Ash. I love doing that play. It just makes them feel so bad for, you know, trying to stop your search, because now you just got 2 extra monsters on the board and you continued with your search. So absolutely love that interaction. Then next I play 2 copies of Nibiru. So I didn't want to max out on Nibiru. Of course, this is like one of the most impactful cards in the meta. Again, I also had him in the list video. He was number 1, spoiler alert. But yeah, like this card, definitely is just so impactful. I definitely wanted to play like some ratio of it in the main deck. I thought 2 was more than fine. I play a lot of 2-ofs in the deck, but didn't want to max out on it because I still wanted to see more of my actual engine cards. And then on that note, I also played 2 Ash. So I do have the 3rd Nibiru and the 3rd Ash sided in this deck. Yeah, I just felt like just having 2 of each was more than fine. This also allows me to make the Purgatrio because I also play Purgatrio in the extra deck. Alright, so that's it for all of the monster cards in the deck. Before I get off into the spells, I'll just give a quick little reminder to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope you guys are enjoying my breakdown so far, and let's go off into the spells. So I play 3 copies of Nadir Servant. This card is fantastic, guys. There's a reason why this card is like $100. Of course, Canadian, keep that in mind. I'm over here in Canada, so for anybody that's over in the States thinking, oh, there's no way that's $100. No, it's $100 over here. But anyways, this card, it just allows you to send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and then you can add 1 Dogmatika monster that has the attack value that is equal or less to the monster that you had sent to the graveyard. So typically you're just going to be adding your Ecclesia, and pretty much all your extra deck monsters will have more than that 1500 attack to be able to grab it. So definitely max out on the Nadir Servant for sure. I wouldn't play anything less than 3. Then I play 2 copies of Cursed Eldland. This card was really hard to not play at 3. I really did want to play it at 3. I just couldn't find the space for it. Like I said, I wanted to throw in some more impact cards, like some of the hand traps, but this card's really good, great starter card. This is one of the cards that I mentioned that you could just play first to try and grab like your Eldlich or a Golden Land spell or trap, and then if they try to ash you, you can go ahead and Gamma. So definitely one of the best starter cards in the deck for sure, but 2 to 3 for sure, no less. Like I said, I would play 3 if I could. Then I do play 3 copies of Magical Meltdown. So this is basically what allows you to have super consistency with your Alistair, because he is so crucial to that first turn like combo that you want to do. And then of course, to kind of add to the consistency, I do play 1 Terraforming. So you essentially have like 7 Alistairs in the deck just to be able to get that combo going. So I would play no less than 3 Meltdown. It's optional, I think, on the Terraforming, honestly, but yeah, I definitely would play all 3 Meltdown for sure. And then I do play the 2 copies of Invocation. Didn't feel like I needed to max out on this. I felt like 2 was more than fine, because honestly this card is also recurable, as it does have an effect in the graveyard that if you have a banished Alistair, you can go ahead and add the Alistair back to your hand and shuffle the Invocation back into the deck. So super duper, recurable. It's really not needed at 3, but yeah, definitely play 2. Then I did want to play 1 card in the main deck just to kind of out things like Mystic Mine, because we have seen some of that recently. And also just a main deck out too, just a bunch of back row in general. So I play the 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. So yeah, so I definitely would try to main deck anything to kind of deal with spells and traps in today's meta. So it's really nice that we were able to get this back off of the ban list. Then going off into the traps, I play 3 copies of Sarlet Sanguine. This one's pretty straightforward. Just get you easy, quick access to your Eldlich, and also just being able to, get banished and directly set your Golden Land spells and traps. So the ones that you're going to be setting off of the Sanguine is going to be your Conquistador. I play 2 of that, and then I also play 2 copies of Aquero. If you didn't know what they did, Conquistador, when it is special, when Eldlich is on the board, you can go ahead and pop any card on the field. And then Aquero, just allowing you to banish a card from your opponent's graveyard, if you have Eldlich on the field. So you could max out the Conquistador at 3. It's another card I really did want to max out at 3. I just couldn't fit it in. Aquero, in my opinion, is okay. But it just, again, you can banish it to get your Sanguines and also your Black Awakenings. So it is still a very useful card, but I just didn't want to play any more than 2 of each. Then I play 2 copies of Dogmatika Punishment. This card is super fantastic. I'm so surprised that they made this card a common, honestly. I really hope that we do get a rarity bump for this card. It is just one of the best forms of interruption in the deck, just allowing you to target a monster on the field, and then you can go ahead and send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and then you can go ahead and pop that monster. But obviously the monster has to have like equal or lower attack to the monster that you would send, which typically you can do. That's not really so much of a problem. But yeah, you can go ahead and like just dump like an Atis, for example, and you can get like 2 interruptions there because you'll be able to pop 2 cards. Dogmatika Punishment, super duper good card. I've even debated playing it at 3. It's at 1 point. Then I play 2 copies of Impermanence. This is one where you can kind of play around with the ratio. I just decided to play 2. Thought it was more than fine. And then I do play the 1 copy of the Shaddoll Schism. So Schism is really good. That's basically another really crucial card to the combo that I will show you here at the end. So I will now get into the extra deck real quick, guys. So I play 2 copies of Invoked Mechaba. So this is going to be the main monster that you're going to be wanting to make first turn. If you open your invoked stuff like your Alistairs, definitely make the Mechaba. I have the 1 Purgatrio. So Purgatrio, just another way to kind of help you OTK your opponent, and also it's another reason why you main deck the Ash, so that it does also help with making this. Then I do play 2 copies of Titaniclad. So Titaniclad is a fantastic card to send to the graveyard off of your Nadir Servants. Just when it is in the graveyard during your end phase, you can go ahead and normal or special summon the Dogmatika monster that you added off of him during the end phase. So again, most of the time you'll just be adding your Dogmatika Ecclesia. I usually like to just add Ecclesia for the next turn, or if you don't have Ecclesia on the board yet, you can just go ahead and special it so you can go ahead and grab your Fleur de Lis. So there's another form of interruption. Then for the Shaddoll stuff, I play Shaddoll Apkallone and Shaddoll Winda. So you do have the Winda lock available in this deck. Like I said, that will be in the combo that I show. So Apkallone is in here. Of course, when you go ahead and use Maximus to dump your cards, this card is what's going to allow you to grab your Schism. Super duper important. I play 1 copy of Natis. This card in here, just kind of complementing Punishment so well, just allowing you to just dump it to the graveyard and then being able to pop 2 cards, or you can even dump it off of Nadir if you really want, just to pop a card. But yeah, just a great card to just send to the graveyard and then just get that pop. Then I do play the 1 copy of Almirage. So essentially this is again just part of the combo. You make Almirage after you normal summon your Alistair, make your Almirage. You have your Secure Gardna, which you make using the Almirage. I do play Nightmare Cerberus. This was just a utility card I put in here. I found throughout testing this deck over the last, I would say month or so, that there were times when I just wish I was able to just remove things off of the field, especially when I had Eldlich on the field. And I didn't really have any links in the deck other than the 2 that you just saw, so I wanted to throw in a Cerberus, and this card has actually put in a lot of work Just being in a meta where everything is in the main monster zones, Cerberus has been fantastic. Then for just a couple synchros that I play the one copy of the Wind Pegasus Ad Ignister. So this card's really neat. It's just another card that you can just send to the graveyard. So when there is another card that is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can go ahead and banish this card, and you can actually bounce back a card on your opponent's side of the field. So nice little card to have if your opponent happens to, destroy cards on your side of the field and it's in the graveyard. They have to watch out for this thing getting banished and then, shuffling back something that they have on the field. Obviously, since we play the Gamma package in the main deck, you do play the Psyframe Lord Omega. So you can make the Omega, you can rip a card out of your opponent's hand, so that's neat as well. And then for some XYZs that I play the tanks. I play the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max and the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Libe. Just some cards to OTK if you happen to have 2 Eldlich on the board and you're just trying to swing in for massive damage. These guys will do it for you. So that's it for the extra deck, guys. Now let's go off real quickly into the combo. Alrighty guys, welcome to my quick little combo tutorial part of the video. I know that you guys have been requesting this a lot lately, so I've decided to finally put in a combo tutorial at the end of my deck profile videos. So this is going to be the main combo that you're going to want to do with this deck. If you open up this combo, there's a pretty good chance you're going to win the duel. So yeah guys, so I really hope that you guys enjoy this bit of the video. So to start things off, we are going to first normal summon our Alistair. Then you are now going to use your Alistair effect in order to add you your invocation from your deck to your hand. Then after that, you're going to immediately link off this Alistair into your Almirage. And then you're immediately going to link off this Almirage into your Secure Gardna. So this is your light that allows you to get access to your Mechaba. You are now then going to activate your invocation, and since you are allowed to banish materials from your graveyard, you can go ahead and banish the Alistair that is in your graveyard, and then the Secure Gardna from your field, in order to make your first turn Mechaba. So what's so awesome about this combo, guys, is that the Mechaba is accessed within the 4th summon. So you don't even have to worry about getting nibbed in this deck. As long as you get to this Mechaba on that 4th summon, they're not going to be able to touch you with Nibiru, or any other hand trap for that matter. So then, and also keep in mind too, you guys do have this invocation in the graveyard. It is recurable, obviously, to shuffle it back into the deck so that you can add back the Alistair. So I'm going to do that at the very end. But then anyways, now that you have the Mechaba on the field, you now can special summon your Ecclesia. So then once Ecclesia is special, you can go ahead and activate her effect, and she is going to add you your Dogmatika Maximus from your deck to your hand. Then after that, since you have the Almirage still in your graveyard, and since you can special Maximus by banishing a extra deck monster from your graveyard, you can go ahead and banish that Alistair and special the Maximus. So I'll special the Maximus there. Then now you can go ahead and activate Maximus effect. So Maximus now makes me and the opponent have to dump 2 cards from the extra deck to the graveyard. The 2 cards that you are going to be dumping is the El Shadal App Cologne, being the first one, and then the second one being Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon. So obviously Titaniclad is necessary because to make the window you need a dark. And then the App Cologne, once it is sent to the graveyard, you can trigger its effect after your opponent has obviously dumped their 2 cards to add you a Shadal spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So this is where you're going to be adding your Shadal Schism. And then also keep in mind, guys, that when you do add the Schism, you do have to discard a card. So I'm just going to discard this card. If you have Eldlich here, this would be a really great time to discard the Eldlich. And then, yeah, guys, that's basically it. So then you can go ahead and just set the Schism. During the, so right before you go to end phase, you can go ahead and just add back this Alistair just to make sure that you have that monster card to be able to activate Mechaba, and then of course that will shuffle back your invocation back into the deck. So you did that, and then now during the end phase, also another thing to also keep in mind, because this was something that I did forget when I first started playing the deck because I just wasn't used to it yet. You do have the Titaniclad in the graveyard, so make sure that you trigger its effect to add you another Dogmatika monster. And you are just going to add it, you're not going to special, so this is where you're just going to add your Fleur-de-Lis. So now you'll have Fleur-de-Lis in your hand just for another form of interruption. So yeah, guys, so that's basically the combo. You can now just pass it to them whenever you feel like the right time is. you can go ahead and activate your Schism, and then that will let you banish your App Cologne and your Titaniclad from the graveyard, and that will summon you your Winda. So now you have your Winda lock. And then, of course, you will have your Fleur-de-Lis. Since you are still allowed to special once more, your Fleur-de-Lis could be that one special summon that you can do for your turn in order to have another form of interruption. So yeah, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed my quick little tutorial. Like I said, this combo is fantastic. If you have access to it, it's most likely going to win you the game. So yeah, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you guys had a blast. I know I did. Enjoy the rest of your guys' day. Peace out.